He has a pretty good team. Like, he has two quarterbacks, technically. He can either trade Teddy Bridgewater or trade Sam Bradford. Both are probably in the 80s, so still, he can get something worth out of that. I don't think he has that many wide receivers except Stephon Diggs.
Which I think he may be already shopping Diggs. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but that's something you should keep an ear out for.
Yeah, he always looks for a top linebacker, but I think he's going to get hit with the trade realization real quick because he'll go through withdrawals before I ever do. So I'm telling you that right now. So you might have an advantage there because he's going to be sitting there going, I should be able to make this trade. I should be able to make this trade. By that time, you might have a 3-game lead on him.
Yeah, you might catch him while he's in the process. Now, are there any comments that you would like to make while we got you on here in general about your team, like how you feel about your chances in the North? I mean, we already established that you're usually a playoff contender. Do you see that as a trend going forward as well?
Yeah, last year I traded for a quarterback early on. I traded to get Goff. And this year I don't have to really trade for a quarterback. Trubisky is higher than Goff was when I first traded for him.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. Goff was a 70,
what's your thoughts without
69. Jeffrey, I'm going to have some trouble. I mean, we have a pretty much mirror of Jeffrey, just not as skilled as in Cameron Meredith. He's still as tall, as fast.
You got White
doesn't
still.
Have all those in. Yeah, White's pretty fast, but he's a project. And he's 25, I think, so I might have to cut ties with him and try to shop in free agency for some younger talent, because I'm going to put a lot of young talent in my team.
Okay.
Some of the older people will either get dropped or get traded. I'm not going to trade everybody away, but most of the stars are gonna be the rookies, like Quinton Debs. He's gonna probably be a backup for my other safety, Eddie Jackson.
I knew that was coming.
He's from Bama. He's pretty good still. He's a 71 rookie, not bad. And he plays for the ball.
Nice.
I think we can agree though. Like, he has a very good young nucleus. Like, even if you don't make the playoffs year one, you're gonna be there in season 2.
I still have all these second-year players from last year that are still good. I got 3 quick dev players I know. I got Jordan Howard, who's going to be, I checked franchise mode. He's an 88 with quick dev. I have an 86 center with quick dev. And then
white hair.
Yeah, white hair's 86. And then fucking Floyd. Leonard Floyd's 80.
Oh, okay.
With quick dev.
There you go. And you have Pernell McPhee though. So, I mean, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's a solid. I have a solid front 7. My defensive line is gonna get to the quarterback, and I'm expecting sacks, especially with against the Minnesota Vikings. They don't really have an offensive line. Their offensive line is complete trash compared to mine.
What do you think about the new Detroit user?
Well, that's what I was.
I'm not gonna sleep on Limp. Limp is
Limp or lip?
Lip. I always called it. Lip is. I'm not gonna sleep on him. He beat me last time I played him, but I've beaten him I think twice out of our 3 games. But he's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, he knows how to play D, and his passing attack is very good. Usually.
That was gonna bring me up to our next topic. I was gonna bring up Lip. He's our Lions user. They had a B off-season grade. Darius Slay's their best player at 89 overall. They're pro. They upgraded offensive line. They got Wagner and Lang, which is a really good segue from what we were just talking about front 7-wise. Negative injury issues are a potential problem for them at left tackle. So their pro and negative both come from the O-line, so that could be a very interesting situation going forward. As far as the league goes, I don't believe they have to be worried about their left tackle being injured going into the season. I don't think we're going to have pre-existing injuries turned on.
Yep.
But no, I could see the Lions giving the Bears a tough matchup, especially on paper. I mean, you have Matt Stafford with I believe he has a 98 throw power, the highest in Madden this year. So you got to really watch that secondary. And then you also have the Packers.
He's another one.
Yeah.
He's another one that went home too. I think he's from Flint, Michigan. So, if I remember right.
Yep. He went home to his team. I know. I had thoughts about going to the Lions as well, but you know, you can only play Madden so many years with the Lions without losing your mind. So, so let's talk about Jamie a little bit. Jamie is the head of the Packers. I gave them a B- off-season grade. Aaron Rodgers, discount double check, 98 overall quarterback. The pros for this team, they added depth and immediate help to their secondary through the draft, and they added Bennett at tight end. I know this is a great pro, and I want to hear what you guys have to say, but I don't think that was a team that needed any more offensive firepower. I think they had, they scored enough points every game, it seemed like. I was kind of perplexed about that spending. A negative... what were you guys going to say? Do you think that would be a negative, or do you think that's just overwhelming?
No. Packers usually never spend in off-season. Like, they rarely spend in off-season, so it's actually good to see them spend in off-season, because the last year they got Jared Cook. Jared Cook didn't pan out how they wanted it, so they brought in a better tight end.
I was going to bring that up. That lack of spending that you just brought up led to the loss of their two possibly most important offensive linemen from a unit that struggled last season. So it'll be really interesting how the Packers operate with, a decimated offensive line is what it would seem like.
Well, that's the other thing, is a lot of people don't realize they put all their eggs into one basket. And basically they were worried about their defense this offseason. That was pretty much the primary concern. They brought in Martellus Bennett to kind of help out that line, I think, and give Rodgers one more weapon. But at running back, you put everything on Ty Montgomery and a bunch of rookies. So that is going to be like the number one thing that you got to watch with this team now. Their defense is going to be a lot more strong. They got, help in the secondary big time with their corner and their safety that they got in the draft.
Yep.
But after that, you really kind of shift back to that offensive line running back situation. Rodgers is going to have to do everything. He really is.
And that would be alarming to any other team except for maybe, a handful of teams with elite quarterbacks. But, I mean, you're not too worried about it when you got Aaron Rodgers. It'll just be how many times does he get hit until him and Mike McCarthy start having disagreements again.
People forget that Rodgers was the most sacked quarterback about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was because that offensive line was decimated with injuries. Now you lost a couple more linemen.
Especially he likes to roll around, extend plays. That's once you get past 5 seconds in the pocket, it gets dangerous.
But I know Jamie's already trying to fix that problem. He is trying to trade. I know who he wants. I don't know if I should tell. Kind of rude.
Some backroom trade talks.
Come on.
No, it's not. It's not.
What a perfect venue to spoil.
Well, anybody wants Joe Mixon, he wants that guy. He loves himself some Joe Mixon.
But he's not going offensive line.
Okay. No, he's going. He wants a good running back. Joe Mixon is a good. He has good hands.
He may be the
and
best
he's phenomenal
overall halfback in the league as far as rookies go for that position.
Well, yeah, he will definitely test out the trade $10 million exemption.
Yeah.
Really quick probably if that happens. So we'll have to keep tabs on that situation.
He knows what he wants, and he wants what he wants. I think he's gonna get it, but
I don't know
if it's gonna help him.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. He's gonna put all his eggs in one basket, like he always does. But he loves Oklahoma. He's from Oklahoma, so he likes always getting those
he likes
young
the Sooners.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
So what you're saying is if he misses on Mixon, he's gonna go for Perrine. Is basically what you're saying.
Yep. Yep.
Good to know. Good to know.
All right. Well,
so watch out those.
Let's shift over to the Vikings. Let's give Oz some shine here. I'm gonna give the Vikings a B grade. 93 overall. Free safety Harrison Smith holds down that defense. Pros for their offseason: new tackles to bookend the line, shore up a unit that ranked 30th in rush offense last year. Also, 2 new rookies at running back. Negative.
Well, one rookie, one free agent.
Yeah, one rookie.
Yep. Sorry. Yep, messed that one up.
And they're both beast.
On the negative side, though, big spending on the O-line only brought in more questions, and the loss of a future Hall of Famer in Adrian Peterson always has to be looked at twice.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be a lot to fix with this team. And I know Oz, he knows how to play defense. You give him a good defense already, he'll figure it out.
Yeah, he has a bunch of fast linebackers already.
Yeah, he's going to be stacked.
Anthony Barr has like 86, 88 speed.
Kendricks is still nice. He's aging well.
And whatchamacallit, I think Bridgewater, take this for what it's worth, I think is already on the block. So.
Okay.
Let's see.
Whoever the 49ers end up being, that's probably who they should try and get.
No, they should try to get Clinton. Nice guy. Strong arm.
Oh, shit.
But no, Oz definitely knows the ins and outs of what makes a team tick, and I don't think the Vikings are that far off. That was one of the teams I had thought about personally being if we went NFC North. So let's talk about the AFC North now. The Bengals, they got A.J. Green at wide receiver, 94 overall is their #1 player.
Who is the Bengals? Since we get to the
Caleb's
players.
friend.
The Bengals is the DJ D-Rec.
Okay, I don't know if I know who that is.
I'm not familiar with the user yet, but DJ
Caleb.
D-Rec is going to come into a situation where he has John Ross. So, I mean, not much else has to be said other than that. In addition, they grabbed a halfback, Joe Mixon. Also added 2 new young talented edge rushers as well as a middle linebacker. On the negative side of things, they lost their best 2 offensive linemen and struggled on the O-line last season. So you got to wonder if they're really going to be able to push the front 7, or are they going to be relying on big plays from AJ and the speed demon John Ross.
Yeah, the biggest the biggest bugaboo for me with that team is Adam Jones being your top corner. You still are in trouble.
Yeah. It's going to be a rough situation, but there's also plenty of talent on the offensive side of the ball that he could find himself winning games that he might not necessarily is supposed to win if the other team makes key mistakes. He just has the firepower to hit you quick.
And he has also depth in all his spots. Like, he can easily shop one of his 3 running backs.
Mm-hmm. Plus, you got Burfett. Defense is strong up front. It's hard to not like
I think
the
all his
Bengals
running backs
on
are
paper.
at 80s.
Let's hope he likes to run the ball. Let's just put it that way.
Let's see. The Browns. Their best player is a 92 overall left tackle. His name's Joe Thomas, and they're at the helm of F. Tom Cruise. I'm giving them an A- draft grade.
Oh wow, he actually went to the Browns, huh? Interesting.
Yep. They had a really productive draft. They added 3 first-round picks and spent big money upgrading the O-line, making their guard the highest-paid guard in the league. They also added 2 new quarterbacks. They have a weird lacking situation at wide receiver. They let Terrell Pryor go and sign someone for more money with less upside potential. So that's the only real eye-raising situation going on in Cleveland right now. They got
Somebody's
Julius
really
Peppers.
breathing into that mic. Holy shit.